Ah, we're here. So it's on. So, I brought you here today to let you know that there is a woman that has been suffering in silence, and she's part of my project in raising awareness for mental health and what the underlying issues of mental health are. In this case, this lady has a serious complications of mental health, serious complications of disability also. So I'm going to point out that as I approach the situation, you'll recognise that there are white lines on this, and this represents that the lady is blind and registered blind. She also has mobility problems. Look at the stairs. So as we get up to here, up with the cameraman, up to here, a concerned neighbour has been in touch with us also and has high concerns that this lady is suffering. She is housebound and she is unable to get out. Apart from having walking aids, this here, how is she supposed to navigate with a walking aid down the stairs? She can't get out. Second of all, hold that. There is a wheelchair. Also, she cannot get out. But it gets worse. Would you like to follow me? Yeah, follow me. Hold that up. Thank you very much. Okay, so it gets worse. What happens is now we have more stairs to navigate all the way up there. Remember, the lady has walking aids, a chair, and a Zimmer frame. And not only is that, she's registered blind. She has a blind aid, walking stick, a stick, sorry. Hang on a minute. We're also going to point out there is a bath aid also. Now, hi. So whilst I'm not going to get your face in, can you tell me, without getting your face in, what was your concern? What do you think of this situation? Hang on a minute. Would you like to say something? No, okay. All right, thank you for your help and demonstration on that one. Hang on a minute. I just want to point out that we have a visual impairment walking stick that was given by OT. This will represent that she is blind. She has fibromyalgia, which is very, very tiring. She also has that. She has also had 2 strokes. And bear in mind, there are 7 voices safeguarding her. That's 7 safeguarding referrals. The police have safeguarded her. The ambulance, the blind aid, the stroke association, neighbour, the GP, and the Mom Project have safeguarded her. So, thank you for allowing us to do your interview with you. It's been a total of, since raising the awareness, the Mom Project has raised awareness with the relevant housing, and the housing have come out and had a home assessment, have agreed that the situation is not viable for this lady to stay in, being as she has stairs and poor mobility, visually impaired. And like I said, let me just show you once more before I get up there. This lady is in danger of having to tackle all of these stairs, inside and outside. She cannot get out of her house now, being as she's had a relapse in her mobility, and it caused an ambulance to come out. Can you tell me how you feel about being left in this situation since they've come out and visited and said it wasn't suitable, and they get you out as soon as possible? They would move you to another location so you could receive support. Could you tell me how that since August it makes you feel how you're still in the same situation, housebound?
Well, 17 weeks I've had to live isolated, trapped, housebound, and with no help at all from the council or the OT, and it's very stressful.
There's times where it's been so stressful that we've had to call for some intervention to assist you, but when they get here they realise the issues are not because you're mental, the issues are because you are housebound, you are unable to leave your house, you do have all these walking aids and a blind stick and a wheelchair and a Zimmer frame and what you're sitting on right now. And earlier we did a video before to demonstrate and point out the underlying issues of why you're feeling so down and withdrawn and unheard. So therefore, I'm going to turn this around. Yeah, so therefore, being in the situation despite raising awareness, despite the 7 voices on our side, these people are still not moving. They could offer you a direct let, because after all, you're not asking for a new home, you're asking for an exchange of a suitable, eligible home. So they could offer, under policy, a direct let, and that's not been happening also. In regards to them coming out, they came out and said that they would put fire regulation, more fire alarms in and a sprinkler, so you didn't get trapped. How do you feel about that wasn't actually resolved? How do you feel about that being trapped in your house still? What is your fear there?
I could have a fire and still not get out, and it's terrible because they lied when they told us that the sprinklers was gonna do it, and the carbon monoxide, they're wrong. They're really wrong, and something has to be done.
7 voices, safeguarding referrals, all witnessing is the same thing as what I am witnessing, and neglect. How can you keep a woman trapped in her house for that amount of time, knowing there are 7 safeguarding referrals in, that this lady is unable to get out of her house? How can you do that to a woman? This could be your mother, this could be your sister, this could be anybody. And if you guys don't speak up for what is happening to humanity, you could find yourself in this position. I'll repeat again, this lady has had 2 previous strokes. She's not supposed to be stressed out, because it can exacerbate the condition. It could lead to a further stroke, which could be fatality. We don't want the fatality. So the issues of, one of the major issues of this lady's mental health is being housebound, restricted, unable to have a social life, unable to attend appointments, unable to get out and go to a book club, all the things that therapy was there for her. She cannot get out. They promised to remove it. Yeah. Like I said, they promised to remove her out of this situation 17 weeks ago. And what is that in months? I know, I'll let you figure that one out. How can you allow that a lady that was vulnerable, that has so much medical condition, to be housebound, to be trapped, unable to leave her home? So I'm going to demonstrate again. Thank you. Is there anything that you would like to say? Anything that you would like to say to authorities. We don't mention the names because if we mention the names, we can get into trouble for that. So, is there anything that you'd like to say to?
I want to move ASAP.
And want to be able to be supported by her social network. And there is a clause that everybody should be entitled to live where they want to live. So this lady simply wants to move from one borough to another borough so she can receive the vital support that is needed. As things stand, the only support that she has is the Mom Project, which tackles the underlying issues of mental health. And in this case, like I said, the underlying issues of mental health as a prevention of stress and as a prevention of suicide, we have to intervene here and raise the awareness of the situation is causing this lady detriment. The situation is heartbreaking for anyone, and if the Mom Project had not stepped in, this lady would be still isolated and alone. So we have made it our point to make sure that her voice is raised, she is heard, and they are listened to, and we're trying to work with the housing to correct the situation. And the sooner they can correct the situation, the better, because then this lady could have some kind of life. And I'm going to demonstrate again. Thank you for your interview. I'm going to demonstrate again to you that, hold on, that is what she has to tackle with. And I said to you, she has walking aids. This is a lot of stairs for somebody with disability and who's registered blind. She cannot utilise this without somebody taking her out or carrying her down these stairs. You cannot utilise this wheelchair. You cannot utilise the Zimmer frame because the Zimmer frame legally is not an aid to use on stairs. So as I said, when you open this, the only thing they've done is put blind white paint, and that is what she's got to tackle, and she cannot get out. They know this, and they're still keeping her trapped in the house. There are no white lines up these stairs either, and even if they were, she still cannot get down or up the stairs because she has these aids here, as well as a blind stick. So I'm absolutely disgusted with how the authorities are treating, not the authorities, I'll get that wrong, how housing are treating this lady. Housing. They want to come out and have another appointment. They want to come out and have another appointment with this lady after they already had an appointment on August the 10th. The same lady, which was a safeguarding officer, wants to come again, but there's nothing to say. They said it's an informal meeting, so that's not formal, because they want to see where they can support her. How can you haven't been supporting her since August. They haven't supported you. What have they done for you since August?
Nothing.
How have they supported you? Have they called you? Have they offered you?
No.
Nothing. So
I even asked for a hotel so that I could go to the book club, and that was no. We can't.
Yep, they wouldn't even move her in temporary accommodation. So basically, this woman's human rights are being infringed right now. Second of all, to come back out and do a informal questionnaire, how can I help this lady? Well, you've already got that written down with a full report. How can you help this lady? How you can help this lady, and the only how you can help this lady is move her. You can't give her emotional support because you haven't given her the emotional support. I have. You're taking my time up and my resources up. But that's fine. This is why I invented my project, because at the end of the day, the NHS don't have the capacity to help people, vulnerable people. They're full. So us humans had to take over and make sure that we are assisting each other. So that's why I have intervened, and I am helping this lovely lady who's not crazy. She simply just needs her voice heard. The problem with her is that she is housebound, and it's affecting her physically and mentally. But she has support 24 hours. So if there's any crisis, I am actually assist trained, suicide intervention. And I do report to the necessary authorities if that ever was to be the case. And even though you do report these things about other people to the authorities, even though there are safeguarding referrals in. And by the way, if people don't know what a safeguarding referral is, that means that the people that put in the safeguarding referrals, and bearing in mind there are 7, that means they are in agreement with myself that there is an issue at the property, that it is affecting my lady's health and well-being, and they need to move her out. Even the MP has written on behalf of this lady in agreement that this lady needs to be moved so she can have her freedom back. So I would like for you guys to help me get her freedom. There is a petition that I will put on my page, and I would like for you to send and share this petition, because we can't do this alone. They're not listening, or they are listening, but they are slow. 17 weeks is unacceptable to do this to a female or any male, anybody that is vulnerable and registered vulnerable under the Equality Act 2010. They are breaking the law. Thanks for watching. This is the Mums Project, and I am Kerry, and I am assist trained, as I said, saving lives all day long. Just sort out this housing problem, please. It's gone too far. And I'll say there is a petition. Please sign the petition. Remember, this could be you, and one day you may need someone's assistance in a situation that you're in. If you don't do your part for humanity, don't expect people to do it back for you. Help, like I am. Thank you. I'm going to turn this off.